Happy Monday. It's July 13th, 2020, and it's another day to be thankful to being on the right side of the ground. I look forward to enjoying this cup of coffee with you today. Welcome to today's episode of The Modern Believer, the podcast that reminds us that the good news is that there is good news. Now, you may be wondering, Eddie, what or who is the modern believer? That's a fair question. Here's my answer. The modern believer is you. It's our families. It's me, our communities. In a world with so many contrasting views, it seems that we're constantly bombarded with news that do the opposite of cheering us up. But there's one thing we can all agree on, and that is that we all enjoy a positive story or a good note, however you may take it, that gets us through the day. It reminds us that there's humanity in the world. There's a lot of good going on, even if it may not seem like it at all times. On today's episode, we will be talking about a pizza shop in Florida who was going above and beyond at the beginning of the pandemic, a huge scientific feat, and welcoming back an animal we thought was extinct. Let's begin. Free pizza for kids. In Ormond Beach, Florida, just slightly north of Daytona Beach, there's a restaurant owner who was going above and beyond during the school year. How? How, you may ask? Well, I'm happy to answer that for you. When margins have been tighter than ever in the service industry, the team from Lenny's New York Pizza Company was giving free lunches, free as in complimentary lunches, to kids in the community that were under 14 years of age that were transitioning from school to home during this whole pandemic and transitioning to the e-learning environment and whatnot. Lenny Fries, the owner, liked what he heard from his employees. It was actually an employee incentivized idea. They said, "Hey, Lenny, how about we give some kids some free food?" Lenny's like, "Okay." Actions speak louder than words. And once again, they were able to feed over 300 children in the area. 300 children. I do want to emphasize that. And they didn't do this just once or twice. They did this Monday through Friday for a few weeks. So if you are in the area, a very simple way to show support is, well, obviously getting food there. Their website is ormondpizza.com, and they have 2 convenient locations in the area. Again, support them by either getting food there, or even if you're not in the area, just give them a call. Say, "Thank you. Hey, is Lenny there? Thank you. Lenny, you're great." Because people deserve to be reminded when they are appreciated, especially when goodness is coming out of their heart. So just give Lenny a call. A new great way to clean water. Be on the lookout for Houston-based Solugen, an innovative biotechnology company that, for all the people out there that are actually scientists, this goes way above my head, but they discovered a way to edit the genes of a yeast bacteria to produce enzymes to clean water. Furthermore, they discovered a way to stray away from making hydrogen peroxide, which is typically petroleum-based, to this new sort of solution that is not. When that petroleum-based hydrogen peroxide is mishandled, things can go wrong pretty quickly. Petroleum, fire, spreads very quickly. You get the point. It all started in 2010 when the 2 co-founders were playing a friendly poker game. An idea was born. Fast forward 6 years, and they are winning a competition at MIT. They pitched this concept at MIT, and they won $10,000 in 2016. They invested that $10,000 immediately into their first reactor system, and they combined their peroxide solution that they were working on with other chemicals and used the newfound solution to clean everything. Everything. They started from hot tubs, moved to hand wipes, and are now helping clean water treatment plants in Houston, which some of you may know, some may not. Houston is the largest petrochemical area per se. I don't know, like the biggest petrochemical economy based. You get the point. It's huge, right? So we can imagine that there's a lot of gas, oil, and many other toxins in the water that may not be the best thing for the water. Huge shout out to co-founders Gaurav Chakrabarti, which his friends call him G. I'm not his friend yet, but maybe one day I get to call him G. And Sean Hunt as well. Big congrats. Huge scientific feat. However, their efforts did not go unnoticed, and good for them. They deserve it, especially something like this. Solugen gained a spot in this year's Forbes next billion-dollar startups list. That's B. That's billion with a B, right? So this adventure started for them, dropping off 5-gallon buckets of their solutions off the back of their Subaru, to now not only gaining this recognition, working on massive water treatment plants, but it's just a proof that the American dream exists and continues to exist, even with everything going on right now. This company, however, has not forgotten their humble beginnings, and an even bigger shout out to them. During this pandemic, they have produced and donated over 100,000 gallons of hand sanitizer. I'll say that again, 100,000 gallons of hand sanitizer to local healthcare facilities in the Houston area. Remember the name Solugen and check out their website. I guarantee you that they are here to stay. Ideas like this fill me up with a lot of hope. And it reminds me that this is a collaborative effort. You could have the next billion-dollar idea. If you believe in something deep enough and hard enough, you should always give yourself the opportunity to at least pursue it or give it a shot. What I am about to say is very true. We miss 100% of the shots we don't take. Welcome back, dear friend. Florida gets to welcome back an endeared Miss Friend. Welcome back, Osmia calamithene, or more commonly known as the blue Clementha bee. It's so rare that experts have actually thought that the bee has been extinct for over 4 years. Now, you may be thinking, well, it's just a bee. Like, how much impact could a bee really have? Well, let's take a step back and think about the concept of being extinct. Every organism serves a specific purpose to an ecosystem. Now, some may be small, some may be larger. But how could a bee impact an ecosystem? Well, now that this bee is back or rediscovered, a bee that was so rare that it was thought it was extinct, you guessed it, it's in a threatened land found on the Lake Wales Ridge in Central Florida. Not only is the bee extremely endangered, but the ecosystem that it's a part of is also classified as one of the nation's fastest disappearing ecosystems. This bee is unique for many reasons. First of all, there's not that much research into it, and one of the two things that really stood out to me is that it doesn't live in a large colony like traditional bees, and after the female builds a nest, it doesn't care for its young. Furthermore, I think that's the second time I've said that this episode. Oh well. It's only found in this 16 squared mile region or land, right? So again, not that much research, but hopefully with proper conservation, this huge discovery can help this threatened ecosystem flourish. Huge shout out for all the people that are following their dreams and passions, pursuing conservation for animals and land and everything like that. It's pretty cool stuff if you think about it. People out there with their bucket hats, I imagine, little vials, taking water samples and whatnot. So it can't be easy. So again, huge shout out to you all. A simple way we can all help is by being a little bit more conscious and recycling. I know it sounds silly, but it's true. We could recycle a little bit more, and just simply throwing our trash away. We only have one Earth, so let's just take care of it and love it. We're going to take a few seconds of gratitude here, and I want you to think of just one thing you're grateful for today. Just one thing. It can be something as simple as a fresh cup of coffee, or that your body wash didn't run out this morning. There's a lot of reasons to be thankful. So I just want you to take a few seconds to be grateful, and we'll take a few seconds. Personally, I'm grateful today for all the Stevens and Savannahs out there. Happy birthday to you both. The world became a better place when you were born. Now, chances are you may have struggled to think of just one reason, or that you may have thought of many. Point is that there's always at least one thing we can be grateful for. Now, life can be tough, and frankly, it is tough, especially right now. Yeah, you just got to be real. But we are ultimately responsible for our actions. No matter what, there's always a silver lining. I genuinely believe there's always a silver lining. It's up to us to set our attitude and be thankful about the little things and big things in life. Remember, everyone, we have control. Nothing is ever worth our peace. One of the visions of this podcast is also to have our good news vault. We want to have a single page, web page, that's simply dedicated to good news. But before you go about your day, hear me out. Tag me at The Modern Believer, or use the hashtag good news is the good news. Anytime you find good news on the internet, or if there's something going on in your community that you would like to be shared. On themodernbeliever.com, there is a tab for the Good News Vault, and over time, this vault will serve either as a cheer me up for myself, you, or hopefully a random stranger that happens to stumble upon it. The point is that we got to remember that there's a whole lot of humanity going on, and maybe this can be our way to remind people that there's a lot of good in the world. I want to hear your feedback, everyone. I want to hear from you, so please email me or shoot me a DM at any time. Well, what do you want to hear from me next time? I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Again, all my contact information is on Instagram at The Modern Believer, and links to other social media platforms as well. Be on the lookout for more good news throughout the week, and general, positive stuff, quotes, whatnot. So, but I can't do this completely without you all. I look forward to any sort of support that you guys give. Pretty much, hey everyone, thank you so much for your time today, and I want you to remember that I love you. I am immensely proud of you, no matter where you may be in life right now at this very moment, whether it's that you unfortunately just lost your job like a lot of people have, or that you just got a new job, or a bunch of other small big things that happen in life. And most importantly, I want you to remember that we are human and we're allowed to feel. It is important to feel. So we all have days that we wake up and we're either in a great mood or in a bad mood. And the days that we are in a bad mood, it's important to take a step back and look around for things to be grateful for. Whether it's your favorite pillow or your favorite shirt wasn't dirty today. Little things can add to a lot of big things, right? And just because the day starts like that you may be in a less than favorable mood, it doesn't mean it has to end like that. Smile. You and I are breathing at this point, and in our own way, we're already kind of winning in life. So, however, if it does end the same way, remember it's completely fine. But the day will, or the sun will rise again tomorrow. Now, when we are in a good mood, it's important for us to put that love back into the universe. A simple way I like to do that is when someone asks how I'm doing, I try my best not to say doing good, well, or okay. I try to say I'm doing great, and I try to give them that energy. And then I ask about their day. You never know when the random people we get to encounter in this journey we call life, we're either asked, how are you, or just their opinion. And sometimes it can be a lot longer than we'd like to admit, especially in today's world. There's a lot going on. So whether it's the cashier a store clerk, or a coworker, or any other random person we encounter, it's important for us to be a little bit cognizant of that. And together we can kind of, again, give that love back into the universe. So it's true. It's up to us as a community to put that love back. That smile you give, uplifting attitude, smirk, whatever, that may ultimately change their day, everyone. And maybe, just maybe, thanks for the love and compassion that you give them to them in those few seconds, they start spreading that love to others. And then we build a beautiful chain reaction of love. Stay blessed and keep fighting the good fight. Thanks for joining today's episode of The Modern Believer, the podcast that reminds us that the good news is that there is good news. Make it a great day.